Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am sharing my October daily 2018 with you. This is actually building the album itself. I will have process videos for different chunks of days when they're finished. So this is really just building the physical pages of the album, if that makes sense. I do start the cover in this video and add some tape here or there, but it's mostly the building of it. So I'm using scraps from last year. I did a traveler's notebook with Pink Paislee's Spellcast range. So I'm just trimming up those pieces. You can see they're all basically the same shape. And I'm just separating some scraps so that they're usable sizes for this small album. Initially, I was going to do another traveler's notebook insert, but I just kind of ran out of time and I was starting to feel stressed out about it, and I hate that. Like, I thought it was stupid to be stressed about something that was going to be fun, and I just really wanted to make something. Oh, there's Scallywag. So I decided to go ahead and do this type of album, which I've done many times for friends and family as a gift. So yeah, I'm trying it out for myself for the first time. I think total building the album and filling out all the pages and decorating everything took me about probably 3 or 4 hours. So it's pretty manageable, to do over a span of a few weeks or whenever you have time. So I'm just going through and cutting these pieces down. You can see I took a 3x4 photo and I took an Instax photo and kind of measured them on the page. And now I'm going through and finding the scraps that are orange and just trying to distribute them a little more equally through, because there are less orange than there are black and white. You can see that I'm almost completely using things from the Spellcast range, which came out a couple years ago. But I do have a couple other papers that are black and white that just kind of coordinate. One is from Maggie Holmes' Flourish collection, and I can't remember where that moon print is from, but otherwise, the phases of the moon sort of print. Otherwise, everything is from Spellcast, and the only new thing that I purchased were some glittery tags shaped like pumpkins, and I just couldn't help myself. They were really inexpensive at Joann. So I also purchased some leaves for my November daily as well. So yeah, this is all just kind of using up my scraps. I'm just going through and distributing the colors, like I said, and I'm adding more pages here or there because I'm trying to make sure that I can get about 30 days worth of photos in here. I'm not planning to do it daily, but I still plan to have quite a few things that I'm going to capture in this album, so I'm just adding more pages here or there. Again, just trying to make sure black, white, and orange are kind of alternating as best they can be. The longer pieces here I wasn't initially planning to use, but I just want to make sure I have enough pages, so I'm going to end up folding some of those and making little pockets and stuff like that, which is pretty fun. It's not really something that I have done before on my mini albums. So just moving those around to get the placement that I want. And the other reason that I'm not just going ahead and making this, like filling out the pages as I make the physical album, is because I ran out of printer paper. So I have a small stack of photos there at the top, but everything else I couldn't print until I got my paper in the mail. So this was a good way for me to work on something even if I couldn't completely finish it at the time. So don't forget, if you feel like you're stuck in a weird situation like that, just start on whatever you can do and then come back to it later. It's really helpful sometimes just to start. So I'm just going through now and kind of trimming up little bits that are hanging off these papers. Some of them I don't really like the print, so I'm gonna cover up the inside of them. Again, a few I'm gonna like fold some pockets out of. You can see those small ones there, like that geometric pattern, are already folded in half, and I'm gonna leave them that way so that way I can flip them open and, maybe put journaling on the inside or make it into a pocket or something like that. So this one, I don't like the inside color. This is the paper that I can't remember where it came from. So I'm covering it with orange, and then I'm going to cover the other part with a different paper, and I actually mess it up. And I think in the end, I end up turning it into like a closed pocket. So I'm doing all this work, I guess, for nothing, but that's okay. Just have to go with it. Yep, so this is where I mess up. I use this navy blue paper, and then I realized once I've put it down that not only did I cut it out of a cut apart page on the back, which I would rather leave to actually cut apart, I start sticking down the wrong side. And you can't really remove the adhesive once you put it on. Unlike, if I'm putting it down and it's not straight, I'll tear it off and it's okay and I can stick it back down, but you can't remove the actual adhesive from the paper. So, oh well, I just go with it. So now I'm just moving around a couple more of these pages, trying to get them all situated. And now I'm cutting the rest of this cut apart page and putting it to the side so I don't try to use it again. So now I'm going to work a little bit on the cover. I'm just searching through the stickers that I have left over, and I end up using this cat, and I'll tell you that I actually move it later, but you'll see that in my last process video whenever that goes up, hopefully soon, because I end up moving the cat and then using it elsewhere in my album and then putting some of those bats that you see there to the side on the front, and I really like how it turned out. So now I am writing out October 2018 with my Kelly Perky Black Alpha, which always takes a little while to kind of straighten everything out and spell everything out. And then I'm going to start going through the pages of the album and kind of changing their shapes, turning some of them into tags, adding tape to them, folding some of them into pockets, really just kind of playing and having fun and using, what's in my stash for this album, basically, and just see how it kind of turns out. I should have bought more of this alpha during Black Friday, but I kind of forgot because I was like, I don't need anything, because I always stock up on the white ones because I use them so much, and I didn't do it this year. Oh well. Actually, last year I don't think they were on sale. I think I expected them to be, and then they weren't. So I'm not sure if they were this year or not, but I should probably stock up. So yes, now that I have this cat on here, it just looks like it needs some borders of some type, and so I'm going to start looking at adding some washi tape. I'm looking in the washi book because I can't remember how much is left, but I actually used quite a bit of the washi book strips of tape last year. So I'm using this skinny black glitter tape, which I like. And there's actually like a small cut in some of these pages of paper. Even though I've kind of trimmed them up, they just have like a small gash in them. So I'm going to try to sort of cover that up and give it a little bit more stability here. And then I'm going to cut the corners off and make it into a tag shape here in a moment. I will say sometimes I'm not great at cutting things super straight, and as usual I don't really care, but I think it's because I sometimes just am not really paying attention, and I don't know. It's okay. I still like how it turns out. So my first page is now a tag. I've wrapped that glitter tape around to the back, and I'm just going to do something to this one. I'm going to turn it into an open little pocket on the edge there, and to remind myself that it's there, I'm just going to stick a tag in it, so that way I don't forget as I'm making my album later. And I'm going to also do that with some pages that are longer that I turn into pockets. I'm just going to stick a Instax photo in there, so that way I remind myself that there is a pocket there as well with some of the pictures that are already printed. And I'm really kind of liking how that looks. I have never done little pockets like this on an album like that before. Usually I just seal out all the edges except for one and make sort of like a hidden pocket, but it's kind of fun to have a visible one as well. Also gives you a little more color variation on your pages. I'm just trimming up a few more pieces here, making those little pockets like I said, and I think they turned out really cute. I may make like too many at some point. On this one I decided to turn this flip open page into a little tag, and I'll do some journaling on that when I actually go through to make the album later. Again, just trying to make it to where not every page is the same layout as much as I can, even though I'm basically starting with the same size paper on every page. Just trying to use up any scraps that I can. So yeah, again, putting things in those pockets so that way I remind myself that they are there later. This one, the one that I messed up, I'm trying to decide what I want to do with it. And I think I just end up cutting it off and using it as sort of a double-sided tag sort of thing. This time, based on the orientation of the pattern, I'm going to do my folded tag in a different direction on the back side. And I'm just going to flip through these a couple more times and make sure that I like the way that they look. And I will probably, change some things along the way, but at least this gives me a starting place, and it was a good way to start this project without having any printer paper to finish my photos. This one I want to do something too that's a little bit different, but I'm not sure what yet, so I'm actually folding on the diagonal and just trying to decide what to do with it. I'm going to cut it off so that it's even, and then sort of fold it up again to make sort of a diagonal pocket, which isn't super functional, but it is interesting to look at, and that was kind of the goal. So I'm just going to use my tiny attacher to secure the pocket to the edge. I actually really kind of like the way that this looks. It uses a lot of paper because you have that whole fold of lost paper, but I think it still looks really neat. So just going to stick another tag in the pocket there. And a lot of times I'm just making sure that I'm not going to have to punch a hole through the pocket later, just trying to pay attention because it's easy to forget those things. And then when you are finished with your album, you realize, oh gosh, okay, I'm punching a hole somewhere I shouldn't be, but it's too late. So trying to think those things through now. So that's all for this video. If you'd like to see the actual pages, stay tuned. They will be coming really soon. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.